Okay, welcome everyone to the Ashes of Creation October dev update. And damn, more gameplay for me to look at, more gameplay for me to react to. I cannot wait. So firstly, they're showing a bunch more people, and I think they were showing the effects here. This just looks so damn good. They basically were going into explaining about how with the effects, essentially they are kind of doing they are basically doing the tier 1 effects, which is what you can kind of see now, and then some effects are going to have that tier 2, tier 3 quality in alpha stage, but a lot of them won't. A lot of them will just be tier 1. They'll be pretty basic. They'll be basically kind of placeholder. They'll just be representative of the final product, not the final product, which is what the tier 3 kind of like and beyond, I guess. I don't know how many times it has to go kind of through the art team and the the effects team. Well, that was just really cool. So basically they're just showing off all the different effects. It looks so great, like the lightning effects. My favourite effect's got to be like the laser beam that they showed off a little bit earlier. It just looks absolutely insane. I also absolutely love the teleport effect. They haven't shown it today, but they showed it, I think maybe it was August when they showed the teleport. Just so cool. Absolutely awesome. And that was like kind of the main thing they showcased. I'm going to skip through a lot of this because a lot of it, like, as you can see, it's all pretty much effects. Today it was a lot of art, it was a lot of effects, a little bit of combat here and there. They talked about if you're colorblind, that they're going to show different, they're going to have symbols and kind of like textures to differentiate classes, like basically different roles in dungeon raids and stuff, so that even if you're colorblind, you'll know who is who. They didn't mention, I don't believe, maybe I missed it, but it didn't sound like there's going to be like a tritophonia mode, or whatever it's called, like all the different colorblind modes, which will just change the colors. Maybe they'll do that at some point. Maybe I missed it. I don't know, but just look how good this combat looks. Like, it's absolutely insane how far this has come. Literally from a couple of months ago. The fact that they were working from home for so much of this as well is even more mind-boggling, man. There's been dev teams that have like literally gone to a halt under the pandemic, and you can understand why. But these guys, they have just been absolutely like, look at that laser right there. That's one of my favorite effects. It looks so good. Like already, I'm not even sure if it's a finished effect yet. But yeah, so it looks really, really good. And it's interesting seeing, like, this is like player versus player here. It looks really, really interesting. It still looks like it's a bit of kind of tab targeting. I don't feel like we've really seen the action combat yet. I want to see more action combat for sure. We have seen a tiny bit. I think it was maybe a month. No, it was 2 months ago. We saw the tab, being able to switch between tab targeting and action combat. We just haven't seen much of that action combat yet. Beyond, obviously, I know there was Ashes of Creation Apocalypse, which is effectively their testing ground for action combat. But obviously, we've only seen little snippets so far of what it's actually like in the MMO. Because I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I think I'll probably end up doing majority action combat. I think you can do up to 70% of one, so maybe I'll do like anywhere from 50 to 70% action, and then the rest will be tab. But anyway, it looks really good. Look at all those effects. I actually wonder how this is going to run as well. This is my biggest thing, is how is it going to run and how is it going to age? Because it looks brilliant, but I can't help but think, oh damn, this might age real quick. And not only that, but it also might be really hard to run. I don't know. I hope it doesn't age quick, or if it does start to age, like ESO still looks really good to me, but I could see ESO starting to look a bit dated in the next couple of years. I think as long as they can do what WoW has done, whereby they slowly over time like improve the visuals. Like obviously there's now ray tracing in WoW if you haven't played WoW since the pre-patch. So it'll be really cool to see how this game kind of develops over time. Of course, in content ways, but graphically as well, I think it's really important. So this was pretty interesting. As you can see, it's just a lot of the same of what we've already seen. Don't get me wrong, I really like watching all this gameplay. But I feel like when you've watched it so many times, you're kind of like, oh yeah, look, they're walking around and attacking each other. It looks like every other MMO, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way when I'm talking about the combat. The fact is, lots of MMOs are very good at combat systems. The fact this system has a hybrid ability, like the fact that you can switch between the two, is just really cool. But anyway, otherwise, I think that was pretty much it. Like, they didn't show much. They showed off this art. This art looks beautiful. Like, if we look here, this is obviously like the dwarf race. I know they have different names. They're not actually called dwarfs in this game. They're showing still, yeah, more of the dwarf structures. I'm going to just call them dwarfs because that's what my brain's telling me. But look how good it looks. Like, I'll try and go through them a bit slower. So these are obviously going to be all the buildings. I think that's a blacksmith. Yeah, so cool, man. I just... And obviously it's... Because it's October, they're in Halloween outfits. Apart from Steven, unless Steven is just dressing as himself for Halloween. I don't know, maybe he's a super scary boss or something. But you know, going through this... Foliage, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of foliage as well when you turn your settings up, which is super nice. Because I mean, I'm a foliage nerd. Love a bit of foliage in my video games. Some more character models. Just like how good it's coming along. I feel like they're only showing off like dwarf and like one of the other races, though. I feel like we haven't. Yeah, there's like a race that has like almost like a Middle Eastern, I want to say Persian vibe. Don't want to you know, offend anyone though with that, but yeah, it just looks super cool. And then obviously they're showing off all the pumpkin creations from the community's so awesome as well. They've finally reached 100,000 on their own channel subscribers, and like you can see why. But otherwise, this was like a really short day. I feel like they were definitely focused on kind of showing people like, hey, this is what's going on with the game currently, because obviously they've now announced the Alpha 1. If, as you can see right here, you have the Alpha 1 preview, which is it literally lasts, what was that, 4 days, 3 days even. No, it's 4 days. Ignore me. And that's the pre-test 1. Pre-test 2 is another 4 days. So it starts this year in December, and then February. But then people aren't really going to get access to it until really Alpha 2. Because at the moment you can only purchase up to Alpha 2. So this is more for content creators and those really early backers who backed and spent a lot of money to get this game kind of a reality. Obviously Steven put forward like, I think 30 million of his own money. But obviously some of the really early backers put forward hundreds, including myself. I'm not an early backer though, that's why I've got Alpha 2 access. But yeah, this is super cool to see. You know, then March is obviously when the NDA lifts, so people can start recording. That's when we're going to start to see a lot of gameplay, I would imagine. And then we have Alpha 1, the big boy test, 1 month long, which is super cool to see. And then I also believe towards the beginning, charity live stream, gotta love that as well. Here it is. So I actually don't think I've talked about this much, but what we're looking at here is the rewards in the game. Not the rewards in the game, that's the wrong way of putting it. These are monthly rewards that are given out to those who have backed the game. If you haven't already backed the game, and you are looking like you're going to want to play it, basically there is no box cost with this game, but there is a subscription fee. So you don't have to pay for the game, you just have to pay every month to play the game, if that makes sense. But you can back the game to give yourself, you know, a certain amount of months, the in-game currency for cosmetics. You can also get rewards like this. So you can get maybe like a little pet, like this little tiger pet thing, I guess. You've got the horse, you've got, which looks awesome. Got an outfit, you've got a house decor type stuff, and then you've got like a caravan. Anyway, so basically they go up in tiers. So this will be like bottom tier, and then you get the horse, and then you might get the outfit and the carriage, and then you've got the buildings. Basically, the earlier you put forward your money as a backer, you'll get the one from the month you've started, and then every month after, content wise. So if you're interested in the game, back sooner rather than later, unless you don't care for these cosmetics, because at the end of the day, all these items are in the game. These are just cosmetics that are going to go over those items. So you'll be able to get a horse, but you won't be able to have a horse that looks like this unless you back for this month. And then onwards, you'll get all of the latest monthly stuff that comes with it. So just thought I'd point that out for anyone who doesn't know. But otherwise, it's a really kind of short month again. Last month was like this as well. They're just showing off so much progress that, like, but it's all art stuff. There's not much to talk about gameplay-wise that I haven't already talked about before. I just can't wait to see the Alpha 1 gameplay next year. And hopefully more gameplay that they officially release too. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.